Hey, good morning, everybody. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late, or a couple seconds late. Um, Welcome to Fridays with Foster from the illustrious Norton Women and Children's Hospital in Louisville, Kentucky. As promised, I am on. A little bit out of sorts, a little bit tired, forgot my earbuds in the room, and of course you have to go through the screening to get back into the hospital. It's the first time I've been outside in a couple days. So my wife Nikki and I are so grateful to everybody here at the hospital. We had our son Connor, he was born on Wednesday morning at 9:43 a.m. and it was a scheduled C-section, but you know, there were a couple of complications, nothing big. He's been in the NICU for a couple days just to balance out his oxygen. And at home, Liam's having a great time with Emma and his grandmother. So it's really nice to have support. So in this time, so today I'm drinking literally any caffeine you push my way. I really don't care. There was like the bottom of something up in one of the nurses' stations, and I didn't even care. I didn't even care if it was hot. I'm at that point now. So the coffee snob has left the building. I guess I'll leave that to people better qualified right now. I'm just getting in my system however I can. So in looking at this auspicious moment with the birth of my son, Connor James McCarl, I think I wanted to talk about, in general, some learnings that I've had come across my mind over the last, 10 months, being 46 years old, and having another child gives one a moment of pause. I'm also going to relate this back to business. So for now, we're going to call this the 5 things that I've learned about life having a child in your 40s. So first, my capacity to feel and understand my feelings and emotion today is at an all-time high, and much more so than when I had my daughter 18 years ago when I was 28 years old. Most importantly, what I found is my ability to take the feelings that I'm having today and over the last couple days and seeing my son being born and translate those directly into my other relationships, and strengthening the love that I have for my son Liam, strengthening the love that I have for my daughter Emma, and strengthening the love that I have for my wife Nikki, and to really feel that. I think it's something that if I was able to do it before, there was a different awareness. Number 2, man, I am definitely a lucky guy. Not just withstanding being in the NICU and seeing a lot of people who have been there for a bit and will continue to be there for a bit, but understanding all the wonderful things I have in my life. And I think for having Emma in my 20s and the last 20 years or 18 years that I've had to live my life and see my life alongside other people's lives has really given me an opportunity to be grateful for what I have today. It's easier to be grateful when things are going the way I think they should go. We all have challenges in our life, but I think that my ability to do that over time is something that comes with time. Number 3, my awareness and how present I am in situations in my life is at an all-time high. So my awareness as to being on my phone, being on the Facebook, reading a book, not being present, and shutting it down. I think when I was younger, not that I'm not still young, but I was younger and having kids, I think I was always thinking that there's always time, there's always going to be time, and yes, there will always be time as long as I'm alive and everybody's healthy. But life is fleeting. I think when we get into a certain age, I've had some friends, some very young friends, in my opinion. My ex-wife actually being one that she passed away in her 40s or early 40s, and maybe we get to this age where we see people that maybe are passing earlier. I guess there's this just awareness now of being present, and it's not much of a conversation. It's just retraining myself from the habit of zoning out, which is how I would relax my over anxious mind, to actually being present with my kids, with my family, and that has jumped up, since even Wednesday morning. Number 4, I find now that it's even more important to teach through my actions rather than just my words. This isn't a new concept, and none of these are, but for me, there's something about this, and maybe it's because over the last 18 years, I've followed and listened to and believed in people that treat this thing as a talk show, life. And what I found is the people that are most helpful to me and that I really learn the most from are the ones that treat it like a walk show. And they walk the talk. You can see it in their actions. They're not just polished. When I first came down here to sit down and find a place for my camera, I was trying to figure out where I could go. And I said, no, it's just being present and being authentic is much more important than lighting. Which, funny enough, I think this is much better lighting than my office. Maybe I should come down here every week. So I think just understanding that I can best teach, for me, not just for my kids, but to feel truly authentic through the actions that I take today. Number 5, focus and energy. Being a little bit older, older than I was, I realize now that just the being up with Liam and doing that sleep training and working and all these things and finding myself tired. I've actually gone and gotten tested, my thyroid tested, and I'm tired and what's going on. And I'm a healthy person. Fortunately, I'm very blessed right now in the moment to be healthy. But I think that what happens is I can tell myself certain stories about my life, and certain stories I've been telling myself since I was a kid. And some of those stories actually have a negative effect emotionally on the energy that I have to put into my relationships out into the world. And as far as my life is concerned now, so I could sit down and I could talk about having fears about having my son in the NICU, hearing the trees being cut down for the reams of paper that they're going to be using to print all the new bills to send to my house for the nights in the NICU and all the additional care and things like that. The fact that we're going to get out today, which is great, but then we're back into the throw of it. And my son, who's 21 months at home, he doesn't really care what time I woke up this morning. Oh, it's going to be, how are we going to work back into this? And fortunately, my wife is there as a sounding board. Sometimes just tell me to just let it go. It's kind of like if you don't have something positive to say, don't say anything at all. So I don't have to let all my fears out into the universe. I think that actually allows a nice fertilizer for negativity to come and grow. So what I'm really trying to do now is watch my focus and my energy, because it is limited today, especially my time being limited today now with 3 kids and being a responsible adult, which I am and have been hopefully since my daughter was born, but it's just shifted. And I think that the time that I'm spending today with you, the time that I'm spending even sitting watching my son just breathe and make faces, and that I think is giving me a more healthy level of focus. So Foster, this is really exciting, but what the heck does this have to do with business? Okay, so number 1, I talked about the capacity of experience to experience love and emotion and how that shifts. So as far as business is concerned, you've got to be a little bit crazy and a little bit passionate to go into business and to start a business and to be an owner. And so if you look back at your business, however long that you've been around, I think you can actually see where the level of emotion and care that you have for your business now has shifted from where it was originally. And hopefully what you can do is you can actually attach that care to the right things, attach that emotion to the right things. When you first started out, maybe you focused on the one client that was late to pay. And that's all you thought about was that client that was late to pay. Well, now you've got other areas of your business that you're caring about, like the care of your team and your employees. And that's only shifted because of the amount of time that you've been spending in your business and how long you've been doing it. Okay, number 2, gratitude. Wow, man, in this environment, in COVID, in our businesses and friends that we have whose companies are closing or have closed, and I've got a client specifically, it's a restaurant that's struggling because they're mandated to do less business and have been. You can only do so much business. You have 50% seating capacity, good luck. We see these businesses struggling, and I think we can really look at our businesses and find areas that we're truly grateful Sometimes we can be grateful for jumping on the getting a PPP early enough in the business to help. Maybe we can be really grateful to have employees that are willing to maybe cut back their hours, or in some cases I've had clients that have had their employees actually take a pay cut for the betterment of the business temporarily. And I think that's just a completely different level of gratitude we can have in our businesses. I want myself and other people to hopefully come to a point where I don't simply find a certain level of gratitude because I'm able to recognize someone else's troubles and that, oh, I don't have to worry about that, so I am grateful today. If I can operate from a place of gratitude to start, then I don't have to wait to be nudged into gratitude from somebody else's negative experiences. Okay, number 3, how present I am. Man, when you're first in business, you're chasing things around. You know, the clients that I first took on when I was coaching, I probably wouldn't take on now. In fact, I definitely wouldn't take on now. But the areas of my business that I was present when I was actually coaching people, the areas of my business that I was present when I was talking to people in networking groups and chamber events and sitting down and talking to a board of directors and business owners, my how present I was in those conversations, what I was doing and why I was doing it is different than it is now. I can stop and pause and reflect and sit through some uncomfortable feelings, uncomfortable conversations, things I used to think I had all the answers. I don't have to have all the answers. I need to listen, and I need to ask the right questions to find out how I can listen. Wow, values through actions. I mean, in the beginning, you don't want people to know the truth about your business. Well, I just had to run my credit card through the machine to make payroll, or I had this thing and I had to get it out quick and I had to cut some corners, or it's not perfect and I wanted to make sure I got it out on time, or this is going to be late because I want it to be done right? So the actions that we have, you know, we're always reflective of our businesses, but now even more so being in business for a while, you understand that the businesses that are around and are thought of as well in our community are the ones that have been performing a certain level of service at a certain quality for quite some time. And that beats any kind of marketing, because you can market all you want unless you just want one-time customers, which we like to call shoppers. But if you want somebody to shop with you more than once, you've got to be able to consistently deliver your product or service. So that's a way that we teach about our companies. Then the last one, so important in business, focus and energy. What am I focusing on in my business today? Am I focusing on yesterday's problems? Am I focusing on what I need to do different so I can grow as a business owner? Am I getting uncomfortable with the things that I maybe don't know how to handle in my business? I'm not sure how to grow. Maybe I want to change the way I utilize my budget. Maybe I need to become a better leadership development expert, or start on that road to being more of an expert so I can help people develop more. Those are the things that a lot of people really want to focus on and get their energy pushed towards today. So if you can take these 5 things and maybe look over time and see how they benefited you in the way you shift your perspective, and understand that change doesn't happen overnight, but a lot of times the change that's happening has been happening since you started your business, maybe since you shifted your business some years ago, or maybe even since the pandemic. There's a lot of businesses and clients I have that are actually doing better during the pandemic than they ever have. And so it's shifting the way they look at their business and how they run themselves. So I'm really grateful to bring another human being into the world. It's a really big deal. Excuse me. I'm so grateful for my wife. I'm so grateful for my friends and family, people that support us, that continue to support us. Just putting this thing out on Facebook and showing a picture. If you want a picture, it's actually on the Action Coach Foster McCarl Facebook page. He's got the cannulus on his face, but underneath that, he's really cute. I just didn't have a better picture than that, unless he was like scrunched and mad. And I'm grateful to be here with you guys today, and not just because they're actually getting ready to do the circumcision inside. I'm really happy to be out here for that. But I'm really happy to be continuing this, and again, working on consistency rather than intensity in my message. And that's it. I'm going to grab another coffee and go in and see if my wife needs anything from me. I think we're getting discharged today, so that's great. And prayers go out to all the families with kids that are really struggling in there in the NICU, and all the nurses that are out there. God bless you for what you do every day, not just withstanding a pandemic, but what you do for the families and the kids in there in the NICU. It's just amazing. So I'm grateful to be here with you guys today. Have a wonderful Friday and have a great weekend. Thanks.